Hello everyone. All right, so we are starting something new here. We're going to go away from solving equations for a little bit and look at something different. So if you look at this picture, you might be able to figure out where we're going. We're going to the Cartesian plane, which means a graph. We're going to be graphing, looking at things on graphs. So first, let's just see what you remember from last year. So go ahead and label your paper as we're graphing, okay? And as I'm looking through these problems, I notice you need to know where each quadrant is. So let's start out by looking at a Cartesian plane. So I want to go to another page here, and how do I do this? I guess I'm just going to go on here. So the Cartesian plane, let's say, I'm going to make this smaller. And I'll come back to it. So let's look. Can you draw a Cartesian plane? If not, just follow me. So here's a Cartesian plane. They're just number lines stacked on top of each other. And one of them is labeled the X number line, and the other one is the Y. And then it cuts up the plane into four areas. First area, you have four areas. And the areas have names. This area where everything is positive, the X is positive and the Y is positive, is quadrant 1. So quadrant 1 has ordered pairs where the X coordinate is positive and the Y coordinate is positive. Like examples would be the ordered pair 1, 2, or the ordered pair 4, 5, or the ordered pair 2, 11. Okay? Then I would proceed to the left and go to quadrant 2. You might say, could this one be quadrant 2? No. No. It has to be to the left. So quadrant 2, what type of coordinates exist there? Well, the X values here are negative, and the Y values are positive. So examples there would be like negative 3, 4, negative 1, 9, stuff like that. Then I proceed to quadrant 3 down here in the lower left. And what are my ordered pairs there? My X values are negative and my Y values are negative. Both are negative. So if you look at this, I have positive, positive over here, and then diagonally across it is negative, negative. And then we end with quadrant 4, where the X values are positive and the Y values are negative. So those are my quadrants. So if I actually use that info here and figure out some questions, so look with me on this particular page that I brought from your book. So it's asking, where is negative 4, 2 located? So I'm going to, in my head, I'm picturing a Cartesian plane, and I'm saying, how do I get to negative 4, 2 when I plot it? Well, I'd go left 4, so I'd go over here 4, and then I'd go up 2, so I exist in this quadrant. And which quadrant is that? It's quadrant 2. Okay, let's try another one. 3, 5, where would that exist on the Cartesian plane? I'd go right 3 because it's positive, and up 5. So it exists in quadrant 1. Okay, let's try this one. 12, negative 6, where does that go? On the Cartesian plane, I'd go right 12 and down 6. So that exists in quadrant 4. And then I have the ordered pair negative 7, negative 1, and meaning from the origin I'm going to go left 7 and down 1, which leaves me in quadrant 3. Then other things to be able to do, graphing, can you name coordinates? So let's just try a couple of these. If we name the coordinates of point A, I'd look at point A, and could I name it? Well, in the alphabet, X comes first, luckily, and that's how it comes in math too. We have X comma Y. So what is the coordinate for A? So how do we get there? From the origin, we'd have to go to negative 4 on the X, so it'd be negative 4, comma, and then we went up, so it's going to be positive how many? 3. So there's my ordered pair, my coordinates for point A. Let's try point F. Point F is down here. So how do we get there? From the origin, I'm going to have to go right, not 4, but 3. And then I went down 2. So I have the ordered pair 3, negative 2. Okay? So go ahead, pause the video, and try and come up with the coordinates for 6, 7, 8, and 9. You'll have to pause the video because within a couple seconds, I'm going to show the answers. Okay, I told you I would have the answers up within seconds, and there they are. The two more difficult ones are going to be number 7 and number 9, just because you have 0 spots. And to get to C, we'd go negative 3 on the X, that's why that's a negative 3, and up nothing. Whereas in number 9, for point E, we went where on the X? Well, we didn't go anywhere. We just went down, so that's why it's 0, negative 1. Okay, let's look at one more thing. So let's take this a step further. Let's put it into a situation. So let's say we have a graph given to us, and this one I can tell is about the number of hours of something and how much you earn, the earnings. How much you earn an hour. And let's read it out. The graph at the right shows how the earnings of a lifeguard change with the number of hours she works. It's nice to see that her earnings are going up. That would be bad if they were going down the more she worked. So let's look at this. They also give us a table and a graph. So these two are giving the same information, just different ways. And then it has some blanks that I need to fill in. And what I notice is that hours of 12 is not on my graph. That would be right here. And then 24 is way the heck down there. So I'm going to have to figure out some sort of pattern that's going on here. And I notice that the line is going up steadily. It's increasing by the same amount each time. So let's try and find that pattern by looking at the table. So I go from 0 to 20. So I'm going to rewrite the table. And I'm going to rewrite it, I guess we could go this way. So 0 for my hours, and I earned 20 bucks. Wow, I get 20 just for coming to be a lifeguard. Once I get there, I get 20 bucks. 4 hours, I made 30 bucks. 8 hours, I made 40 bucks. Okay. Then it goes to 12. And then it goes to 24. Are you seeing something? I'm seeing that each time up here, it's going up by 4, and then 4 again, and then 4 again. This one does not go up by 4, so I'll wait on that. This went up by 10, as that one went up by 4. This one up by 10 again, as that one up by 4. So if that one goes up by 4, this one's going to go up by what? By 10, meaning this is going to be 50. Now the question is, this does not go up by 4. This goes up by how much? 12. So if that goes up by 12, how much would this go up by? I am looking at this. So if this one's going up by 12, I can look here. 4, 4, and 4 is 12. So I'm going to have to add on not just 10, but 30. And that'll give me 80. 80 bucks. So in class, we're going to be looking at not just graphing, but linking it to a table and seeing how those two relate. So I will see you tomorrow.